Today feels like a good day to pour some concrete. That's what's going on today on Farmertylerranch. Well, we went to pick up our concrete buggy, and wouldn't you know, the equipment to load that buggy was broken. So hopefully I'll be able to get back up there in a couple of hours to get the concrete. But in the meantime, I'll just run around and do my morning chores. I'm over here at the winter pasture, counted cows. I'm missing one, and the one that I am missing is one that I've suspected is getting very close to calving. So let's see if we can find her. Well, I spotted number 52. She's on the other side of the pond there, deep in the heart of poison oak country. She's about right in the same spot as that calf the other day that was in the poison oak, and I did end up getting a little bit myself. I don't think she has a calf yet. I've been watching her for a little bit, and she's just sort of going around grazing. Typically, after they give birth, they would be paying more attention to the calf or just laying down and resting. To me, through the binoculars, she does not look like she's given birth yet, but I think it's coming today or possibly even tonight. So we'll be keeping an eye on her. Yeah, we'll come back in a few hours and see how she's doing. Just pulled into the home ranch here, and it looks like we got a new calf sitting out in the field. I'm almost positive the mother is cow number 34, so got the tag made up here. Hopefully this isn't one that needs to be edited. I don't know if I'll get a tag in this one right now or not. They're both up and lively. I might have to wait till this afternoon until I can catch it napping, but we'll see. Sometimes when they're this young, you can just walk right up to them. Sometimes not. Well, this is just probably not going to work right now. Mother's agitated, baby's a little, you know, nervous. And yes, of course, I could tackle the calf pretty easily, get the tag in it that way, but the problem with doing that, or why I don't like doing it when I'm out here by myself, is when I tackle the calf and bring it down to the ground, then I end up down on the ground, and then I am vulnerable to mother trying to protect her baby. So I like to try to stay on my feet, and yeah, there's really no need to do this right this second. We'll have another opportunity later. Well, I had time to do most of my chores this morning. I didn't really film a lot of it because most of that stuff you guys saw in the last video. I got the phone call. Concrete is ready to be picked up, so we better get after it. Well, that's something you certainly don't see around here very often anymore, a pheasant. Back in the 70s and 80s, there were pheasants around here like you wouldn't believe. Probably rivaled like South Dakota or something like that, but anymore, it's very rare to ever see one. Once in a while I see one in the springtime like now. So I just happened to catch a glimpse and I thought I'd show you guys. I'm running back up to the shop to get some plastic to cover that slab, but while I'm on my way, I noticed that this calf that I was after this morning is down taking a nap, so I'm gonna try to tag him right now. Mother, however, is not down, and she's giving me the stink eye. Well, Mom blew my cover, so I guess we'll try again later. I meant to bring some food for the cat this morning and totally forgot, and he's been letting me know about it. Belly got spayed yesterday, so she is on light duty, no running, no jumping, at least as much as we can help. She's not too happy about it. I am by no means a concrete expert, but I think this turned out pretty good. At least it turned out as good as I need it to be. I did try to get the finish as smooth as I could because I want this to be easily cleaned off just by spraying it with a hose. The old slab was so rough that was nearly impossible, but I think this one came out smooth enough where that will be a lot easier for me to do. So the plan now is to spray it down with the hose, cover it in plastic, and that should really slow down the cure time, which kind of sounds counterproductive. You would think you would want to speed it up so that you could use it sooner, but if concrete cures more slowly, it's less prone to cracking and better for other reasons that I probably don't know. I'm gonna leave this covered at least overnight, maybe through the next day or so. I don't really see any hurry to get it off. And then I still haven't decided how long I want to let this cure before I place the chute on it. I think putting the chute and the load bars on there fairly soon, like say after 3 days, would probably be fine. But what I'm really more worried about is drilling into the slab where I need to put the red head anchors in. And I think that it needs to cure a little bit more before I do that. But we'll see. The main rush here is I need to get the steers vaccinated, branded, and weighed and moved over to the new pasture where, you know, I should have probably done this like a week ago, but I really don't want to send them over there until I can get weights on them. So that's what is holding me up. And other than that, you know, we're getting by with the old chute in the temporary setup. It sure would be nicer to be using the Arrowquip, but you know, when I do finally get it put on here, I want to make sure that I'm doing it right. So I'm trying not to get in too much of a hurry. Some people have asked me, is it really worth all the trouble that I'm going through to swap over from my old chute to the new Arrowquip chute? Well, obviously I feel that it is, or I wouldn't be doing it. Before I got this chute, when I knew that I was getting it, I also knew that it was going to be a huge undertaking to swap it out because the size is different, and that was going to require, as you've seen, huge modifications to my working setup. But to answer the original question, yes, I think that it is worth all the extra trouble because of all the things that this chute has that the old one just didn't. First of all, being the vet cage. This is going to be a huge advantage, like this year when I had to pull a calf wouldn't it have been nice if I just had a door that I could walk in and out to work on the cow instead of climbing over a fence, up and down, over and over. And then the front of this chute, we've got this curtain style head gate that opens, gives them a full like 30 plus inches to walk out of the chute. If you've ever noticed, when cows exit my old chute, it does not seem like a pleasant process. They're tripping and falling all over themselves, banging and clanging on that old thing, and it's just not a good setup. And another thing that I have noticed is that one of my cows, I think number 62, her sire was that old Hereford bull that I had a few years ago. Well, what that has resulted in is that she's starting to grow some horns, and they are curling down around and going right back into her head. So I need to get her in and dehorn her, and isn't it gonna be nice having this head holder to do that? So yes, it's been a ton of work to get everything set up to where I can finally put this chute in, but if you're asking if I think it's worth it, it's not even a question. I do. It's the next day now, and I'm shooting this footage now the day before you're watching this video, if you're watching it on the day that it came out. But the reason that I'm trying to put this in here is because I wanted to give you guys the most current update that I could on the calf that I've got locked up here in the bullpen. You can see the calf has started nursing on his own on this front quarter, but he still hasn't been finding the hind quarters, at least not when they're in the pen together. When I have the mother in the squeeze chute, I have seen him go back and forth from front to back. So I think we're getting close to that, but part of the reason that he's doing that in the chute and he's not doing it in here, I think, is because when she's standing in the chute, she's about 3 to 4 inches taller than what she is when she's just here on the ground. I did bring a bottle down here for him. I actually didn't get them up in the chute today to nurse because I saw them nursing independently yesterday. I wanted to try going a day without locking her up and just see if he got a little bit hungry, if he would find those hind quarters. And it doesn't look like he has, so we'll probably get her in and milk her tomorrow, but I'm gonna offer him the bottle right now and just see if he's interested in it. This will tell me a lot about how much he's eaten today. Everybody interested in this? You want that? Well, we'll see how much he drinks. The last couple days here, I've just been bottle feeding him through the fence because we're at a point where when he sees me, he comes walking over because he knows I've got something for him. And then doing it this way, I don't have to worry about mother getting upset with me, and I don't have to separate them. They can stay together the whole time, and I know it wasn't really stressing the calf out to separate them, but it was definitely stressing mother out. So this seems to just work a little bit better for everybody. Well, he pounded this bottle down without hardly taking a breath, so I think it's safe to say that he is not getting enough out of that front quarter from mother to satisfy him. So we're not done with this yet, but I think we're moving in the right direction. He's nursing by himself off of that front quarter. That's great. We just got to get him used to nursing on the hind quarters, and I think tomorrow when I get him up in the chute to help him nurse, that we will only focus on the hind quarters, and hopefully after a while this will all start to click for him. A lot of people were asking about the calf's eyes, and yeah, one of them definitely looks like there's something going on there, and I'm not really sure. I don't think I've ever had a calf that was born that way, with one eye looks completely normal and the other eye is kind of just like cloudy, and I imagine that he probably cannot see out of that eye, but I don't know for sure. I don't get the feeling that he's completely blind, although I'm sure his vision on that side is impaired to at least some degree. But he definitely seems to be able to see, so I'm not too worried about his eyesight. He might be blind on one side, but he's been getting around and doing everything that he needs to do with his one good eye. So the saga continues, but I think we're moving in the right direction. We've at least reached a point where when I come down here every day, I'm checking to see if he's been nursing or if he is up nursing, whereas a couple days ago, I was coming down here every day checking to see if he was still alive. So we're at least past that point, I think, knock on wood, and hopefully with just a little bit more time and a little bit more work, we can get him going on those back quarters. And the day that I see him independently nursing a hind quarter is the day I will turn these two back out. So let's hope that day's coming soon. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.